Yeah, so the whole thing with harmonics, right? Like all that's happening with a harmonic is that you're cutting the string in half, like, so you're really only getting the upper octave of the string. They're like the most beautiful thing in the world. So if I want to play, for example, a harmonic of E, open E, right? I know that I just go to the 12th fret and there's my harmonic, right? So if I look at what's really happening there, I just say, okay, I have my starting note and I go up 12 frets and that's where I'm going to hit my harmonic. So I could do that same thing on any note ever. If I want to play a G, right, 3rd fret of the high E string G, I know that that octave is going to be at the 15th fret of the high E, right? So in order to get this harmonic, I have to obviously be holding the G note down, right? Because, you know, if I hit the E note, 12th fret, it's like the guitar is holding that note down for me, right? So if I'm hitting G, I can't just like fret a G and then try to hit a G, nothing's gonna happen. So this finger needs to stay on the note that I'm gonna generate the harmonic on. And then you can use your right hand, or your right pointer finger rather, to hover over the string the same way that you would hover your pointer finger, right? Like the same amount of loose pressure, right? Barely touching it, just kind of grazing it. And then I use my thumb to pluck. Let's see if I get like an angle on that. So I'll hover my pointer finger over very gently, 12 frets higher than the G on the low E string, the high E string. And then I'll use my thumb to pluck it. And you can get harmonics like anywhere. Like I could play, if I put down an entire chord and then I envision that chord 12 frets higher, I can just pick the harmonics of that chord. Right? And you can do that on any chord ever. So there's like really no limit to that. And if you want to look more into that kind of style, there's this amazing guitar player named Lenny Breau, B-R-E-A-U is his last name. And he just like, him and Ted Green is another guy who really kind of trademarked that whole idea. Like his sense of harmonics is just like absolutely insane. And yeah, does that answer the question you're kind of asking?
Yep, but just more specifically, like what you're doing with your right hand when you're, especially when you're playing those chords and you're playing more quickly, like melodically.
Yeah.
Still doing that. You're just really good at that. You're just hovering over with your pointer. And
yeah, it just sounds complicated because it's quicker. So all I'm doing really, if I put down like a C major 7 chord here, right? I'm envisioning that chord 12 frets higher. And I'm literally just doing pointer and thumb, and I'm just plucking it. Now, if you want to make it like an extra crazy, like fun time, you can use your pointer and your thumb and bring in your ring finger and do, so what I might do is I might do a harmonic and then I'll use my ring finger to pluck one of the notes, and then I'll do that same pattern moving up. So I'll do harmonic, pluck, harmonic, pluck, harmonic, pluck, and that gives you that like fairy water unicorn, like unicorn raining down, right?
Yeah.
But you can also just use, and you can do it on any structure, any chord ever. Yeah, there's so much cool stuff on that, but that's just gonna take you like a week to get, and then you'll be crazy on it.
Cool. So, but then there's harmonics here on the what is that? The 7th as well.
Yeah.
Right. That's just cutting it 2/3 of the way or something, or. Yeah.
So that's the way that I always think about it is like if I hit like, you know, the D string 7th fret, it's kind of, you're hitting the note, like you're hitting the octave of the adjacent string. So if I hit D string 7th fret, I know I'm hitting an A harmonic. That's the kind of cheat code that I think about it. Honestly, not entirely sure what, like how that works, or like the literal physics of it. But it sounds really pretty if you hit those over a G, because you get kind of like a G sussy sound. But yeah, harmonics are really cool. The harmonics that you have naturally on guitar are a little limiting because if you're playing like in D flat or you're playing in B, you can't really use all of them. You know what I mean? You got to be kind of careful which harmonics you're using, but that's why we have this, so we can go crazy.
Just to clarify though, if we cut the string, like you were describing doing them 12 frets away, but that also, those, like the 7th fret harmonics would also apply. That's 7th.
Right.
Okay, from wherever you're cutting.
Yeah, so you could, so hypothetically, right, I could do that same distance. So if I'm fretting a G, I obviously have my G octave, but you can hit. It's a little harder to get on the higher strings, especially. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so you have quite a few options. I've never actually used the smaller, like breaking it into smaller while I'm using my fretted hand. You might be onto something crazy.
That's crazy. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.